This is the slightly more challenging second part of the examples of how to convert the general form of a circle into the standard form. If you missed the first part, feel free to watch it. Let's move on with this example. Negative 6y plus 16 plus x squared equals 8x minus y squared. We see that we need to do some pre-steps here before we can start to complete the square. Recall that we start with x squared, then the term with x. So let's move the 8x and the negative y squared to the left side by subtracting 8x and adding y squared to both sides of the equation. Also recall that the constant term has to be on the right side. So subtracting 16 from both sides moves the 16 to the right side, which then becomes negative 16. Now we can start to complete the square. Feel free to pause the video and try this yourself. Now we are going to complete the square for x and for y, respectively. In other words, we have to complete the square twice, one time for x and one time for y. Recall that we take half of the 8, which is 4, and 4 squared is 16. Same with the 6. The half of 6 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. Don't forget to add 16 and 9 also to the other side of the equation. Now we have two perfect square trinomials, which we can write as two perfect square binomials, x something squared and y something squared. Do you remember what we put in these empty spaces? The half of negative 8 is negative 4, and the half of negative 6 is negative 3. Negative 16 and 16 cancel each other out, so we keep the 9. Now we have the standard form of a circle, where we can easily identify the coordinates of the center of the circle, which are 4 and 3. And the radius is the square root of 9, which is 3. Let's look at negative 16 minus 12x plus y squared plus 25 minus 10y equals negative x squared minus 36. Again, we start with x squared, then with x, then with y squared, and then with y. (25) minus 16 is 9, and negative 36 minus 9 is negative 45. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 6 squared is 36. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 5 squared is 25. The half of 12 is 6, and the half of 10 is 5. 36 plus 25 is 61, and 61 minus 45 is 16. So the center is 6, 5, and the radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. What about the next example? 20y minus 4 plus 12x plus 2y squared equals negative 2x squared. Now, how can we get rid of the coefficients of x squared and y squared? That's simple. We divide the whole equation by 2. So 20 divided by 2 is 10. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. So we get x squared plus 6x plus y squared plus 10y equals 2. The half of 6 is 3 and 3 squared is 9. The half of 10 is 5 and 5 squared is 25. So we get x plus the half of 6 is 3 squared plus y plus the half of 10 is 5 squared equals 2 plus 9 is 11 plus 25 is 36. The center is negative 3, negative 5. And the radius is the square root of 36, which is 6. Negative 8x plus 2x squared plus 2y squared equals 88 plus 4y. Recall that we have to get rid of the coefficients of x squared and y squared. So we have to divide the whole equation by 2. The half of 8 is 4. The half of 88 is 44. And the half of 4 is 2. So we get x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 2y equals 44. The half of 4 is 2 and 2 squared is 4. The half of 2 is 1 and 1 squared is 1. X minus the half of 4 is 2. Y minus the half of 2 is 1. 44 plus 4 is 48, plus 1 is 49. So the center is 2, 1, and the radius is 7. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. This video is what I did for you. If you want to do something for me, hit the bell button, like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and happy learning, everyone.